So this is a video about why it's important for us to face the root chakra issues if we want to have creative fulfillment. So in my last video, I spoke about the importance of doing shadow work, going to those deep root spaces to resolve old traumas and old fractures in the soul and the psyche, right? So the reason this comes up now in the year, as you know, in Kundalini Chrism astrology, we go into the root straight after the solstice and we go into those dark places. And at the moment as well, people are bridging into the sacrum. We are moving into the sacrum, which is the next chakra up. And there's a deep connection between the root and sacrum, and the Kundalini life force lives between those two chakra points. So the sacrum is our place of emotional fulfillment and creative fulfillment. So a lot of us are creating something at the moment. We're landing a vision. We have a lot of energy. The root also doesn't just take us into the cave to face the shadow, but it also gives us the first fire. It gives us the power and the energy to create for the next chakra, to create our emotional fulfillment, to actually materialize our creativity. So the root gives us the power. It's the actual life force power that generates whatever we are building out of the next chakra up, which is the sacrum. So when that power comes for you and it comes into your body and it comes into your system, and a lot of us are creating at the moment, like I said, building our visions, pulling our visions onto earth. I'm writing my oeuvre. Finally, I'm writing this book. And as I write, I find that as I'm writing and creating, I'm having deep root issues come up here and there, unexpectedly. Feelings of an intruder, the imposter, old wounds, deep wounds around allowing myself to speak, allowing myself to write this, to say this, to be this, to create this, right? So the act of creation in your life will automatically bring you into a encounter with your dark or shadow self. The root has to be resolved and is resolved via the act of creation. And in fact, the act of resolving the root issues that come up, the shadow issues that come up, give us the continuous emotional integration and energy to power the creation that we're landing in the material realm. So the act of creating and manifesting for oneself brings up a lot of stuff, right? That's our deepest wound as a humanity. We've been going along with the way people tell us creation looks, the way governments and institutions and systems tell us the world is created and reality functions. And so when we actually start to create our own reality and start to land our own visions, deep wounds come up, deep psychological things that need to be looked at. So I find in my act and process of creation, I'm in a dance between creation and root shadow integration. And it comes up and I resolve, I put the creation down when the root comes up, and I engage with that aspect of myself. And it's also interesting to know at this time, because the Kundalini Chrism astrology, it is the science of the chakra system and the sort of transpersonal psychological aspects of this chakra system. But that relates to the different aspects of the Great Mother. And we have Kali, Saraswati, Lakshmi. So we're down here in Kali, right? Kali Ma, the dark goddess. She's painted black. She looks like this. She's pulling out the entrails of a woman, meaning she's dissecting the problem. She's pulling the ego out. Look at this. Here it is. Here's the ego. Here's the severed head, right? She's very raw and very real, but she's also very innocent, and she's the creator. She's the destroyer and the creator. So the act of creation is definitely linked to and coincides with the act of self-death and rebirth, self-destruction, self-integration, right? Going into the shadow, going into the cave to face these parts of ourselves feels like Kali ripping the entrails out. It feels like a destruction. It feels like a death. And in that dark cave, the cave is the womb of creation. So in the womb, where destruction happens, that's also where birth and the spark of life comes, where new creativity comes. So there's a deep connection between creating our visions and dealing with our root and shadow, and that they actually work together hand in hand. It's a process that, they work together like this. Creation and self-integration or shadow work. So my encouragement is, if you're creating and you have a vision, and every time you put your hand to it, something comes up, maybe an anxiety, just a feeling of procrastination, just a need to walk away from it, or, it comes up in normal human ways. You make excuses, we do this, we do that. Sit with that and think about why. Why is the excuse made? Why is the anxiety coming up? And go into resolving that root wound, so that you can continue with your creation. And as you continue with your creation and something else comes up, go there. So, it's a gift. It's the first fire from the first aspect of the mother, the red woman. And the red woman gives us the fire to create, and she's also the great encounter with the self. So just wanted to say a bit more about where we are at the moment. And you can see at the moment I've got an ice pack strapped over my neck, because when I'm at this part of the year in the root and the sacrum, I feel it quite physically. So you might be feeling quite a lot of physical tension. I feel it a lot in my hip area. I have to do a lot of hip openers, working into the hip. It's moved up into my neck and shoulders. So I'm constantly, if I feel pain in my body, I'm going right there. I might not know what the root issue is, but I can notice where physical tension is in my body, and I can put myself on the floor. That's why I live in a very open space, because I'm constantly in body work. Body is part of my life. So I will lie on the floor and I will stretch into it. And sometimes an emotion will come up, because there's something locked in the physical, right? So when I open my hip, an emotion might come up, and I'll spend time with that emotion. And that's when my heart and the great wisdom will reveal to me some memories, some things will come up. So the best way to access that dark space is through your body, because the first woman is clay. She's red and she's the body. It's the primal wisdom and simplicity of physical body work, just physical engagement. So when you start at something as simple as the physical, like, I feel something, I don't know what's going on with me, I can't face, I don't know, there's some shadow aspect, I don't know what it is, my mind can't find it, it won't. We're at the root, so you have to start at the body. So when you feel something, just spend time there, touch it, stretch into it, breathe into it, feel into it. And that place, that block, when the body is tense, the fascia is tense, and the fascia carries our emotions. So when you work directly with your body will reveal to you the deeper emotional wound and the deeper memory and the deeper thing that needs to be looked at. So it's a very simple way to engage with shadow work. Just go straight to the body and spend time stretching, lying with it, touching it, feeling, allowing emotions, and then more will be revealed in that way. Okay. I think that's all I had to say. But face it. It's good. Keep creating, and when the feelings come up, just face it. Because as we are approaching the equinox, the seed is germinated and it's pushing up through the soil, and it's your personal creation. So, much love.